Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. We're getting right into something that is literally foundational for every single family: how to build true, lasting confidence in kids. Now, we've got to talk about this because there's this massive myth out there that we can just command confidence into existence. Just tell a kid to feel confident and poof, it magically happens. Well, today, we're dismantling that myth completely.
Look, hearing a kid say, "I'm not intelligent," or "everyone is better than me," or even just watching them completely shut down because they're terrified of messing up, man, it's absolutely heartbreaking, right? And as parents, educators, or anyone who cares about kids, our default, deeply loving response is usually to swoop right in. We say, "No, you're brilliant, just believe in yourself." But here is the tough truth we have to face. Confidence doesn't just magically appear because we order them to have it. That knee-jerk reaction, while super well-intentioned, almost always falls flat when it comes to changing how a kid actually feels on the inside.
So here's our roadmap for today's Explainer. We're going to look at 1. The reality of confidence. 2. 7 steps to build confidence. 3. Redefining a confident child. 4. Pitfalls parents must avoid. And 5. A daily confidence habit. Let's get to it.
Section 1. The reality of confidence and why just telling them isn't enough.
Okay, so there's a huge contrast between our instinct to demand confidence, simply telling them, believe in yourself, and the reality of how it actually works, which is this. Confidence is built through experience. It's earned. True belief in yourself has to be backed up by proof. A kid has to actually experience themselves overcoming a hurdle, surviving a total flop, or just making a good choice. You literally cannot hand them confidence on a silver platter. You have to help them build it, brick by brick, through their own lived experiences.
Moving on to Section 2, 7 steps to build confidence. These are practical strategies for everyday parenting.
Step 1 is a total game changer. We need to completely flip how we deliver praise. Think about praising results for a second. Imagine your kid aces an exam with a 90%, and you say, "Wow, you're so smart. Sounds totally fine, right?" But what happens when they inevitably hit a wall and get a 50% on the next one? Their brain instantly goes, "Uh-oh, if I don't get high grades, I guess I'm not smart anymore." Actually, by praising pure intelligence, we're kind of training them to fear failure. Instead, we've got to praise the effort. Say things like, "Hey, I noticed how consistently you studied," or "You didn't give up when that topic got really difficult." This shows them that success isn't just about some magical natural talent. It's about strategy, grinding it out, and the willingness to just try.
All right, our next steps. Empower their decision-making and give them real responsibilities. Look, it's so tempting to just make every single decision for our kids, from what they wear to how they study. But letting them make age-appropriate choices is absolutely vital. Something as simple as asking, "Hey, you want to study mathematics before physics or physics before mathematics?" teaches them that their choices actually carry weight. Combine that with giving them real responsibilities, like organizing their own backpack or pitching in with household chores. And when they handle it well, acknowledge it. You are sending them a deeply experiential message that says, "I am capable." They have to experience themselves as competent, not just as tiny humans who follow our instructions.
Which brings us to another really crucial step: avoiding humiliation. Imagine your kid gets an answer wrong and the immediate response is, "How do you not know this?" Or, "Were you even paying attention?" Bam! Suddenly, making a mistake is tied to deep shame, and they will absolutely stop trying. Instead, try a phrase like, "That's not the correct answer. Let's look at where you went wrong." There is a massive, massive difference between correcting a mistake and humiliating the person making it. Your kid has to internalize that messing up doesn't mean they're stupid, it simply means there's something new to learn.
And that mindset feeds right into our next step, setting small, achievable goals. We honestly crush kids' confidence sometimes with these massive expectations. Like, if they scored a 45% in a subject, telling them they must get a 90% next time is just overwhelming. It's too much. Break it down. Say, "Okay, let's aim for a 55% first, then 65, then 70. Each little victory acts as concrete, undeniable proof to that child that they can actually improve. When they repeatedly feel that momentum of progress, belief in their own ability just naturally grows.
Our final steps in this section are all about connection and perspective. When your kid comes home and vents, I hate math, our reflex is to jump in with, hey, don't say that. Instead, step back and just listen. Don't immediately judge. Ask what happened. Give them the space to feel understood. And this last one, please hear me on this. Never, ever compare them to siblings or other students. Asking, why can't you be like your brother, just teaches a child that their value is tied to outperforming someone else. The goal is never to be better than everyone else. The goal is to be better than you were yesterday. Only compare them to their own past performance.
Section 3. Redefining a confident child and what it actually looks like.
So here's the crux of it all. True confidence is not about constant perfection. A confident kid isn't automatically the loudest kid in the room, and they certainly aren't someone who never trips up. A confident child is simply one who can say, I don't know this yet, but I can learn. I messed up, but I can try again. This is super hard, but I can ask for help. It's this quiet, internal belief in their own capacity to adapt and grow, especially when things get tough. That's the exact brand of resilience we want to foster.
Section 4. Pitfalls parents must avoid. We call these the confidence killers.
All right, these are the confidence killers you've got to watch out for. Constant criticism, that's going to make a kid believe they literally can't do anything right. Unrealistic expectations and demanding perfection, that just breeds a paralyzing fear of failure. Public embarrassment turns a learning moment into actual trauma. And this is a big one. We absolutely have to avoid overprotecting them from problems. If you swoop in like a superhero and solve every single issue for your kid, they'll never discover that they actually have the power to solve things themselves. Oh, and finally, avoid conditional love. Your kid needs to know in their bones that discipline and love can coexist, and that even when they totally fail, you still fiercely love and support them.
Section 5. A daily confidence habit that you can put into practice tonight.
I love this one. It's a super simple 3-question nightly habit. Step 1, just ask, what is one thing you did well today? Step 2, what is one thing you found difficult? And step 3, what's one thing you want to improve tomorrow? Now, the secret sauce here is entirely in how you react. You just listen. Don't immediately criticize, don't pull out a comparison, and please don't turn it into a 20-minute lecture. Just listen and encourage. This low-pressure, non-judgmental chat gently guides your kid into a habit of reflecting on their own strengths, their challenges, and their personal progress.
And hey, if there are any students watching this explainer right now alongside your parents, I really want to speak directly to you for a second. Your confidence should never, ever depend entirely on what other people think of you. You might not be the top of your class, you might struggle, you might have totally bombed an exam, but none of that means you're stuck there. None of it. We've got to stop saying, I'm bad at this, or I just can't do it. Swap it out for this absolute powerhouse of a phrase, I'm still learning this. Ask yourself, what do I actually need to learn to get this done? Just making that one mental shift changes absolutely everything. To wrap up the big lesson of our whole explainer today, kids honestly don't need you constantly telling them they're the absolute best. They need you to help them discover that they can learn, that they can improve, and that they can try again. Confidence doesn't mean believing you can do everything perfectly on the very first try. It means believing that when you're staring down something really difficult, you have the tools to learn, adapt, seek help, and just keep going. We have to give them the runway to discover what they are truly capable of.
And with that, I want to leave you with a final thought to chew on. What if the biggest barrier to your child's confidence isn't a lack of natural ability, but our own loving instinct to protect them from failure? For the parents watching right now, how will you step back and let your child safely fail this week? Think about it and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep growing, and I can't wait to dive into our next topic with you.